Well, hello, welcome back to my channel. You're watching this video because you want to be a Renaissance man, or you know someone that you want to be a Renaissance man. Hopefully we can accomplish that for you with this series of videos that I'm doing. To be a Renaissance man, you must have 5 characteristics. You must be well-groomed, well-spoken, well-mannered, well-dressed, and have a well-rounded education. Previous videos we've talked about the first group of that list. Today I want to talk about having a well-rounded education. So, what you'll need to be looked at as a Renaissance man is a wide, cursory knowledge of a lot of subjects, because you never know what's going to come up in conversation. So, a lot of subjects, a lot of topics, you should know a little bit about every one of them. Well, you might say that'll make me a jack of all trades and a master of none. Well, it would, except there'll be times when on certain subjects you'll want to research more deeply. You want to find out much more about that subject. In my case, I decided that any subject that would help me in my job or in my business or investing, any of those things that would help make me more money were certainly subjects that I wanted to find out more about. So I spent time researching and getting a better grasp on those subjects so that my career, my financial situation would be better. A Renaissance man doesn't have to be wealthy, but a Renaissance man is not poor. You don't want to be poor. You don't have to be wealthy, but you don't want to be poor. So a Renaissance man needs to be successful. That is, part of that is financially as well as other aspects of your life. Also, any topic or subject that you find interesting would be something that you certainly might want to research more. Perhaps make it a hobby, and if it's a hobby of yours, certainly you want to find out as much about that as you can. In my case, I happen to like military history, so I read a lot, I research a lot about military history, different battles that have occurred, why they occurred, what were the results of those battles. I find that interesting. So that's a subject that I know a lot about, just because I've taken it upon myself to research that and find out as much about that as I can. College. So yes, college is a good thing. If you have an opportunity to go to college, even part-time, highly recommend it. You're forced to learn whether you like it or not. And even if you have selected a major, you'll have general education courses that will teach you a lot of things other than just that one major that you're trying to get your degree in. So it's a really good way to pick up a lot of knowledge, be more well-rounded in your education. College, however, is not mandatory, particularly with modern devices that we have. It's easy to find out information about pretty much anything that your heart desires. So college isn't mandatory, but it's good if you can. So a Renaissance man doesn't have to have a degree, but it doesn't hurt. This subject is going to take a lot of videos to cover. There's just so many things, so many topics that might come up in the course of your life, in the course of your everyday life, in meetings or in crowds, conversation at parties, whatever. Who knows what might come up? And you kind of need to be prepared for anything that might occur. You can't be prepared for everything, obviously, but as much as possible. You don't want to be the only person in a group that doesn't understand what is being discussed or who is being discussed. That make you look foolish. We don't want to look foolish. So having a cursory knowledge of a lot of different subjects will help you, at least in that situation where in a conversation you know something about it. You don't have to know everything about it, but you at least know something about it. So again, you're not looking foolish by being the only person that has no idea what is being discussed. Today I thought we would talk a little bit about politics and religion as two of our topics. This is based on previous comments that I've had on my videos, questions. And so I wanted to start off with these. Why not? Politics. Local politics. You should know who your mayor is. You should know that person's name. You should know who your congressman is and who your senators are. So you'll have one mayor, one congressman for your region, and 2 senators for your state. That's only 4 names. 4 names you can remember. So find out those names and memorize them. So you know that if those names come up in a conversation, you at least know who they are. That's important. Also, what are the hot topics in your local area? Watch a few episodes of your local news or pick up a local newspaper and you'll quickly discover what the hot topics are. Perhaps it's property taxes or crime, whatever the hot topic is at the moment. You want to know what that is and perhaps have an opinion about it, perhaps have some solutions. So find out what the hot topics are, think about them, learn enough to have an opinion, and perhaps come up with some solutions. And that'll make you look brilliant if that comes up in conversation. National politics. Well, you need to know who your president is, who your vice president is, and who the Speaker of the House is. So only 3 names: President, Vice President, Speaker of the House. 3 important names, particularly in a case of succession. 3 important names, you should know those people. Now you would think everybody knows that. Of course they don't. If you watch a man on the street interview on television, you quickly discover that there are a lot of dumb people out there. So you want to be that person. You don't want to be the person that doesn't know who your vice president is, for example. Very embarrassing. So know who those people are. And what are the current national hot topics? Again, easy to find out. Turn on television, watch a couple news programs, both on the left and the right. Perhaps newspapers or magazines, internet. It's easy to find out what those hot topics are. Is it abortion? Is it immigration? Is it inflation? Whatever it is, find out what those are. Learn enough about those topics to have an opinion of them, and perhaps even come up with some solutions. Why not? So again, if they come up in conversation, you'll know what is being discussed. You'll have an opinion. Perhaps you even thought of some solutions. Make you look brilliant. That's what we want. International politics. Well, there are too many names to remember, but what are the hot topics in the world today, politically? Is it the ground war in Europe? Is it the problems with Taiwan? Is it the environment? Whatever the hot topics are, current, they change. Find out what the current hot topics are. Learn enough about them to have an opinion and to perhaps, again, have thought of some solutions or possible solutions. So that if this comes up in discussion, you'll really look like you know what you're talking about. Religion. Okay, so here's a topic that is impossible to cover in a lifetime, isn't it? A person will spend an entire lifetime researching and studying one religion. So we can't do that. So again, a cursory knowledge of religion is a good thing to have in your back pocket. What are the 3 major religions in the world today? Christianity, Judaism, Islam. All right. What are the holy books for each of those? How are those religions impacting the world today? Many world events can be traced back to one of the three major religions. And of course, there are an endless number of religions in the world. Shintoism, Buddhism, Sikhism, a lot of different religions. You can't know them all, but the three major religions, chances are really good that that might come up in conversation. One of those, or all of them, might come up in conversation. So, again, learn a little bit about them, what their philosophies are, what the dogma is for each religion, perhaps what the holy book is for each religion, perhaps even who the major players are, who is the current pope, for example. Those are things that are easy to learn, not hard to remember, and good things to know, things that may certainly come up in conversation. Okay, that'll be all for today. We'll be talking about many other subjects that I think you should think about that will probably come up in conversation in your life. And that's what we want. We want you to be prepared for when that happens. I have some other videos as well on some of the other topics that I needed to go into in more depth, and we will be doing that. I will produce about one video per month. One video per week, 4 per month. And if you would like to make sure you don't miss one of those, you have to hit the subscribe button. If you like what I'm talking about today, please hit the like button. If you don't like it, hit the unlike button. That's okay. So thank you very much for joining me, and God bless.